And we welcome you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A little June gloom outside, but plenty of fun and excitement inside Miller Park. It is Game 2. The St. Louis Cardinals, the Milwaukee Brewers, division rivals going at it. The Brewers winning last night. They continue to play at a very good clip here at Miller Park. The best home record in baseball right now, and tied for the best home record in franchise history. You got to go all the way back to the 1997 season. The Brewers have not lost back-to-back home games all season. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight on WMLW. And, Rock, it's been a terrific stretch for the Milwaukee Brewers now. You go back 30 games, and the Brewers are 22-8. That's a pretty good stretch of winning, and they put themselves in position now.
And it hasn't been just the offense. The offense has been up and down, but if you can say starting pitching, that will give you an indication of how good the Brewers' starting rotation has been going. 17-5 over their last month or so of ball games. The Brewers have been playing some close games, winning them. They have 14 come from behind wins this year, so everything's starting to come together for this club. The offense much better lately. The pitching and the bullpen very good. So right now the Brewers are probably playing the best baseball in all the major leagues.
No, and on Cerveceros night here at Miller Park, we have a very chili pepper matchup. A nice one tonight. Chris Carpenter, Zach Greinke will break down the two starters when we come back. Presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By Feltco. For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELTCO. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Well, a big crowd filing in here, expecting a sellout tonight, and what a pitching matchup. Zach Greinke at 5-1 on the season. Chris Carpenter on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals. The best pitching matchup in all of baseball right here tonight in Milwaukee. And, well, you can't really take a look at the numbers for Chris Carpenter, Rock. This is a guy who has a championship pedigree. He has been a winner in the World Series. He's won a Cy Young Award, but his numbers not indicative of how good he's pitching lately.
It's amazing. Chris Carpenter, it took till May 10th before he won his first ball game, but his last four starts have been very good. He's back to the old Chris Carpenter. ERA is down. He's 0-2 in that stretch, in large part because the Cardinals just have not been scoring many runs for him. He's always been very tough against the Brewers and has had some very good games here at Miller Park.
And let's talk about Zach Greinke a little bit. Greinke may be coming off his best start as a Brewer his last time out.
And especially, when he did it, the Brewers needed a long start. 7 innings against the Florida Marlins, able to eat up those 7 innings, got the win, and Zach Greinke is one of those guys that needs to continue to get that pitch count up, pitch deeper into ball games. Last time out, very good.
A Cy Young matchup on the mound tonight against some of the game's best hitters. Game 2 of the series, Brewers Cardinals, coming up next on WMLW.
I think our division, anytime we're in our division, it's a little more important than other series. But as far as being that important, no, it's not that important. I was looking at, we've got, just under 100 games left this season. That's a long ways to go.
Definitely think they're a legitimate contender. I think they've got real good leadership. I don't know Ron real well, but I know what he went through learning and contributing in L.A., and I know a guy like Jerry Naren's a real good friend of mine and who's an excellent baseball man. So, yeah, they're legit.
Yes, sir. They were tailgating by the thousands earlier today. Long lines getting in. A lot of fun out in the parking lots. And expecting a big crowd here tonight. Greinke against Carpenter, the Brewers and the Cardinals. And in today's game, we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. Today, every home run in this game raises $13,000 for prostate cancer research. And you can make a pledge by calling 1-800-798-CURE. That's 2873. Or go online at www.pcf.org. You figure home runs will be tough to come by tonight, however. As Tony La Russa, a milestone yesterday, managed in his 5,000th game. The Brewers handed the Cardinals a loss and a shutout last night. And here is the batting order tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals. Ryan Theriot, John Jay, Albert Pujols. The middle of the order, Lance Berkman, Colby Rasmus, and Yadier Molina, with Skip Schumacher, Daniel Descalso, and Chris Carpenter rounding it out.
Now, Zach Greinke making his 8th start of the year. Very good his last time out. He's 3-2 career against the Cubs. Or I should say the Cardinals in 6 games. That's 5 starts, and he won his only start last year against St. Louis in Kansas City.
So Greinke in 7 starts, 5 wins. He lost his first start as a Brewer back on May 4th. Remember, he missed a little over a month on the schedule with a broken rib, an injury that occurred in spring training. But already with 5 wins under his belt, an ERA at 4.83, trying to improve upon that. And there's a line drive, and it is caught by Corey Hart. That's a nice way to get it started. We saw a number of terrific plays defensively yesterday, and we start with one here tonight.
Now, you don't have to play too deep with Ryan Theriot at the plate, so Corey Hart gets a pretty good jump on his baseball, goes down and gets it just before it hits the grass. Nice play to start the night for Milwaukee. I'm a big fan of those jerseys, by the way.
Yes, Cervecero's night and a different look for the Milwaukee Brewers.
I like the color.
What are we going with? Is that kind of a gold, kind of a maize color, maybe?
Yeah, I like it.
Bouncing ball, Jay over to Weeks. A backhanded pickup and a good play. So 2 gone. Corey Hart has played stellar defensive baseball the last couple of nights. Had a great throw to the plate against the New York Mets. Corey Hart went down the line last night. Outstanding catch, robbing extra bases from Ryan Theriot last night, and then a sliding catch robbing Theriot of a base hit tonight.
Man, we talk about how well the Brewers have played in the last month or so.
As Pujols on the first pitch drives one into the gap, and he's going to go for 2. Here comes the throw, the tag, not in time. Pujols in there with a double. And the Cardinals have come out swinging the bats. Already 2 outs, but Pujols delivers with an extra base hit.
Well, everybody knows that Greinke likes to get ahead in the count, throw that fastball early, and they've been attacking it. And Albert Pujols thinking double right out of the box. A good throw by Corey, and Albert just barely able to make it.
Pujols had a hit last night. He was 1 for 3 in last night's game. It was an 8-0 Milwaukee win. Chris Narveson was the story last night. 8 shutout innings against the Cardinals. As Lance Berkman takes a hack on the first pitch.
Yep, the Brewers now tied for the National League lead in shutouts this year as far as their pitching staff goes with those 8. And it's the first time they've ever shut out the Cardinals here at Miller Park.
Cardinals come to town as the best hitting team in the National League. Team batting average. And yesterday's shutout. Brewers had just 7 shutouts all of last year and already 8 this season. On the 11th of June. Let's check the defense, brought to you by Menards. You got Braun Morgan and Hart in the outfield. Casey McGee at third. Craig Counsell back in there. His 2nd consecutive start at short. Weeks and Fielder on the right side. And then it's Lucroy catching Greinke.
Same lineup as yesterday. It's been a while since that's happened.
And with the success of Craig Counsell in yesterday's game, he is back in there tonight. Yuniesky Betancourt sits once again. Ron Renicky did say you'll probably see Betancourt back in the starting lineup tomorrow. But Counsell was a difference maker yesterday for sure. Had 3 hits and a walk. Scored 3 of the 8 runs. Ball and 2 strikes on Lance Berkman. Berkman has been a much better hitter from the left side throughout his career, at least for power and average. And this year bears that out as well. He's a .346 hitter as a left-handed batter, hitting .261 as a right-hander. He's having a monster year this year.
And 12 of his 15 home runs have come as a left-handed hitter.
And it's surprising that this is his first at-bat against Zach Greinke in his career. He's never seen him. You see his splits.
Yeah, far and away more at-bats left-handed than right-handed, almost 3-1. One of the reasons why you see the numbers like that.
Pujols a 2-out double, and the 2-2 to Berkman fouls it away.
Greinke's got good velocity to start the game. Last time in that start against the Marlins, he had a very high pitch count in the first inning, but was able to really manage that pitch count pretty well the rest of the way. In a night where the Brewers needed a big start, a long start out of a guy, the bullpen had been used quite a bit. John Axford was not even with the ball club. Greinke, 111 pitches, got through 7 innings, and he came up huge.
That was the final game of the series against the Marlins. It wrapped up a sweep as Berkman fouls another one off, and Greinke having a tough time shaking Lance Berkman. Now, as we mentioned in the open, now a pretty good sample size of games to figure out where this team is. The Brewers 22-8 over a 30-game stretch. They open the day just 1.5 back of the Cardinals in the Central. St. Louis has played good baseball as well in that stretch. But 22-8, that's saying something when you put a month's worth of games together. And the Brewers will enjoy 2 more games at home. They go to Chicago to play the Cubs for the first time at Wrigley next week. And it's a road trip that will start at Wrigley Field and it'll finish at Fenway Park against the AL East leading Red Sox.
Yeah, the start of a very difficult interleague schedule for Milwaukee. And the success, as we talked about on the open, comes right down to the starting rotation. 17-5 over about the last month.
Didn't miss by much. Lucroy was set up out there. And it's 3-2 on Berkman.
Yeah, it was off the plate.
Gives you an idea of how good Berkman is seeing the ball right now, though. Comes in batting .324 and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. And a good start for Zach Greinke. Picks up a strikeout, strands a runner at second. And here come the Brewers matching up against Chris Carpenter. What a pitching matchup here at Miller Park tonight. June night here in Milwaukee. Temperatures in the upper 50s tonight, believe it or not. Cardinals failed to score the first. Now Ron Riddick's Brewers will match up against Chris Carpenter. The Brewers at 22-8, the best record in baseball since the 9th of May. Here is the batting order tonight. Weeks, Morgan, and Braun. It's Fielder, McGee, and Hart in the middle, with Counsell, Lucroy, and Greinke rounding it out. All positions remain the same after that 8-0 win yesterday. And there is Chris Carpenter. Hard to believe he has just 1 win. He is pitching much better than that this season.
Yeah, it took him 8 starts this year to get that win, but his last 4 have been very good. He hasn't had a whole lot of run support, but since he's been with the Cardinals, Chris Carpenter has been one of the best pitchers in the National League.
Carpenter is a Cy Young Award winner back in '05. He nearly won a Cy Young Award 2 seasons ago. As Ricky Weeks leads off for Milwaukee. Weeks, Morgan, and Braun. The Brewers offense against Kyle Loesch, who has been the best pitcher for the Cardinals, strung together 8 runs on 11 hits yesterday. And Weeks had 2 of those hits. He drove in a run as well. Ricky was 2 for 5 last night. Had an RBI, scored a run. Comes in with an on-base percentage of .353 and a .277 batting average. A Cy Young pedigree tonight for both pitchers. Chris Carpenter, Zach Greinke. There are other Cy Young Award winners pitching tonight as well. Cliff Lee is on the mound for the Phillies. Lincecum will match up against the Reds tonight. And Bartolo Colon pitching tonight for the New York Yankees. Well, the bench is cleared last night, the Yankees and the Indians. Be keeping an eye on this series. There's Cy Young everywhere in baseball tonight. Giants had a comeback win yesterday against the Reds, and they had a walk-off victory. Nate Schierholtz delivered the game winner for the Giants, beating the Reds last night. As Weeks goes down on strikes. Defensively behind Carpenter, Lance Berkman, Colby Rasmus, John Jay. The infield is Descalso, Terrio, Schumacher, and Pujols. Yadier Molina does the catching. Defense brought to you by Menards.
Yeah, Skip Schumacher, the only change from last night's lineup for both clubs. Brewers sending out the same lineup. The Cardinals with only one change, added second base.
Nigel Morgan takes a strike from Carpenter. Schumacher's missed a lot of games this year, had a right triceps injury and missed 34 games. He is back for the 3rd week now as Morgan taps one foul. Cardinals are banged up, no question about it. They lost Adam Wainwright in spring training for the season, and they've only been able to put 1 win on the board for Chris Carpenter this year. Matt Holliday is still out with a quadriceps injury. He's probably going to be down another week, maybe 10 days.
And one of the biggest surprises for Tony La Russa in that starting rotation, Kyle McClellan on the disabled list.
Well, McClellan has a hip problem. Little jam shot. Schumacher makes the play, and Nigel Morgan is retired. 2 outs in the 1st inning.
I don't think there's any surprises with the Brewers and Chris Carpenter. Carpenter, this is his 12th start career against the Brewers. Got an average fastball as far as velocity goes, a very good curveball, and he's been throwing a cut fastball, an occasional change up to lefties. He had 12 start, first 11, 4-4, and a .487 earned run average. So the Brewers have had some pretty good games against Chris Carpenter, although Carpenter's had some success as well.
Decent averages across the board for Braun, Fielder, McGee. As Braun lifts one in the air to right, John Jay makes the play for the out. 3 up and 3 down. We head to the 2nd inning. Chris Narveson, and he has a right to be that way. Last night pitched very well against his old team. The former Cardinal went 8 shutout innings, matching his longest outing of his career, his longest outing of the year last night. 6 strikeouts for Narveson, and just in the nick of time for the Milwaukee Brewers.
That was a good way to start out a big series against your rival in your division with your number 5 starter winning a game and pitching very well. He pitched beautifully last night. Good changeup. Narveson only had allowed 2 Cardinals to get to second base last night.
Colby Rasmus leads off the Cardinals' second. And a little tapper back to Greinke. 1 away.
Well, Chris Narveson kept it fairly simple last night. We didn't see too many big overhand curveballs. That's always been a good pitch for him. It was basically fastball changeup for Narvi. He located his fastball very well. We mentioned that the Cardinals only had 2 at-bats with men in scoring position last night. And he struck them both out. Big strikeout came right there. You can see the emotion, the only real rally that the Cardinals put together. And Narveson finished it with a strikeout of John Jay.
And the 8th shutout. You see the numbers there across the major leagues. Narveson picked up the win yesterday, which was his 3rd win of the season. He's now 3-4. And he shaved about a half a run off his earned run average. Now around 4.3. The Brewers' starting pitchers are 17-5 over the last 32 games. So you're getting victories from the starters in more than half of the games over the last 32. And an earned run average during that stretch of 3.39. And that pretty much covers the stretch where Milwaukee has done most of their winning this season.
And that's what we've been talking about. I mean, sometimes the offense really hasn't been there, but the Brewers have won some close games. They have 14 come from behind victories this year. That speaks well to the bullpen. And they've won 14 one-run games. 14-11 for the Brewers in close games this year. Big difference from a year ago.
That's a good sign when you can win close games, especially close, low-scoring games. That means your pitching is in place. Molina down the line, fouled, just fouled. Ball and 2 strikes on the Cardinal catcher, Yadier Molina. Sean Markham tomorrow. He'll match up against Jake Westbrook for the Cardinals. So the Brewers unveiling their 2 prized offseason acquisitions against the first place Cardinals.
It looks to be a hitter's strike zone tonight. Check this out. Not sure how you take this pitch. Probably a little bit low. It had the plate. Tough to take. Wow.
Angel Campos, the home plate umpire tonight. And Molina skies one in the infield. Ricky Weeks makes the call. 2 outs in the 2nd inning.
Hey, join the Brewers in Red Prairie in supporting the Miracle League of Milwaukee by purchasing a package that includes a Gale Club ticket for Friday, July 8th and a signed batting practice jersey. Call 414-902-GAME or visit brewers.com/giveback.
Well, we certainly want to support that effort, the Miracle League. And a great field that is in place. The plans are in place. Two outs in the inning. Skip Schumacher, his first start of the series. He's still trying to get his sea legs under him. He's not playing every day. Schumacher has bounced around between the infield and the outfield in his career as a Cardinal. Has settled in at second base the last couple of seasons. But he is a Tony La Russa piece. You know, he can use him anywhere in the lineup. He can use him pretty much anywhere on the field as well.
And his big years with the Cardinals, he was a leadoff hitter. You could run. Not many guys are going to be able to make the transition from the outfield to second base.
And a base hit. So the second hit for the Redbirds. Pujols had a 2-out double in the first. Now Schumacher a 2-out single here in the second.
And the slider has been a huge pitch for Zach Greinke in his first 7 starts, and it looked as though Schumacher was able to pick on a slider down and in, got enough of it to dump it in front of Corey. I mean, look at the splits for Greinke. It's pretty much 50-50 sliders and fastballs.
Well, remember the game against the Reds when Greinke just felt like he couldn't find his fastball location, and he threw a ton of sliders that day, which might have skewed the numbers a little bit. He managed to get through that game against Cincinnati, as he put it, with only one pitch. It seemed like he had more than that, but Greinke has high expectations for himself.
Yeah, 2 runs in 6 innings and 109 pitches through 6 innings, but if that's a rough outing, I'll take that any day.
Yeah, that was in Cincinnati as well. Greinke followed it up with a terrific start against the Marlins. He's won his last 3 decisions, and 5 out of 6. The only no decision in that group was a start against the Colorado Rockies right here at Miller Park on May 20th. So he's won his last 3 starts. He's won his last 5 decisions, and a 5-1 record to start play today. Daniel Descalso batting in the 8th spot for La Russa's 9. Descalso getting to start at third base for the second game of this series. Cardinals are anxiously awaiting David Freese, who fractured his left hand, and they're saying he could be back quickly. McGee gives it a look, and then a bounce up and out of here.
Yeah, a lot of offense that is on the disabled list for the Cardinals. Yeah, Freese had a nice rookie year last year, hit around 300. He's been battling injuries since he's arrived to St. Louis. But he can hit, pretty good at third base. Missing Matt Holliday. But the Cardinals still leading the league in runs scored and batting average.
And they still have Albert Pujols and Lance Berkman. There's a strike call. Greinke dots the corner. And Descalso down on strikes, the second K for Zach Greinke. 2 scoreless for Greinke to get started. Now Prince Fielder ready to lead off as we head to the bottom of the second. WMLW is presented by Usingers. Usingers in baseball, it's just not summer without them. And by Steinhoffels, Wisconsin's #1 furniture and mattress store since 1934. Great to have you with us on WMLW tonight. Brewers baseball Saturday night in Milwaukee. And Prince Fielder has been a big story this year. He continues to hitting home runs, driving in runs. He's the National League leader in RBIs to start play today. 55 runs batted in for Fielder. And as is usually the case. Tony La Russa puts a big shift on for Fielder. Got 3 infielders on the right side. Prince is currently second in the league in homers. Matt Kemp has 19 of the Dodgers. Fielder with 17.
Man, pretty standard defensive shift for Prince. You see Schumacher out into short right field, pretty much straight away in the outfield, though.
Now Carpenter threw the Brewers' order 1, 2, 3 in the first inning, had a strikeout. He struck out Weeks to start the game. Carpenter is leading the National League in hits allowed coming into play tonight. He's given up 98 hits. Very surprising for Chris Carpenter, but his last 4 he has been good and has limited the damage, coming off his best start of the year his last time out. This Fielder pulls one foul.
An opponent batting average of 290 against Chris Carpenter. That was unheard of. But he seems to have turned things around. His last 4, as we've mentioned, have been very good. Doesn't have any wins to show for it, but that's not his fault. He hasn't got many runs to work with.
Carpenter went 9 innings against the Cubs his last time out, just 2 runs. He is 36 years of age now. Has come back twice. He actually won Comeback Player of the Year through Major League Baseball once and won that award with a secondary media outlet. So basically he's won 2 Comeback Player of the Year awards. He had a shoulder surgery in 03 and then had the Tommy John procedure on the elbow. That was in 05. Always a great matchup, Prince Fielder and Chris Carpenter. Over the years, Fielder has had some success against Carpenter. Prince is 5 for 15 lifetime with a home run. On the flip side, Carpenter has struck him out 6 times in those 15 at-bats.
And Carpenter always up amongst league leaders in strikeouts. It's been one of those years. Prince hasn't struck out much, though, this year.
That one is hit well. Fielder will watch this one go. This is way back off the scoreboard and gone. The home run barrage continues for Prince Fielder, number 18 of the season, and it's 1-0 Milwaukee. And with that home run hit by Fielder, another $13,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can call 1-800-798-CURE or go online, pcf.org.
Yeah, can't be making any mistakes to Prince Fielder. Not right now, as hot as he's been. And tried to catch the outside corner with one, left it right down the middle of the plate, and Prince Fielder has not missed many of those this year. Sends that one out of here into center field. He's hitting him down the left field line, around to the right field line. He's done it in this homestand. Way back in center.
Very few left-handed hitters can reach that territory at Miller Park. That is up there where only the big boys hit them. And usually only the right-handed big boys hit them. So much power to the opposite field. Fielder, his 18th homer, now 56 runs batted in.
It was good to see the Brewers offense, come alive in last night's ball game. One of the rare games when Prince was held hitless, although he walked a couple of times and got hit by a pitch. Guys around Prince last night were getting it done. Brewers are going to need more of that as the season goes on, because if the guys behind him don't hit, Prince is just going to walk.
A lot of contributors last night around Braun and Fielder, even though Braun had the 2-run home run. Fielder walked twice, was hit by a pitch, on base 3 times. Braun had 1 hit. But really, the damage last night was done at the bottom of the order. Corey Hart down to the 9th spot. 6 of the 8 runs coming from the 6th position down last night as McGee rolls one over to 3rd. Descalso makes a play for out number 1. Well, that home run by Prince Fielder sends the Brewers back to the top of the National League in home runs as a team, number 74 of the year for Milwaukee. They've been going toe-to-toe with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And there's been so much talk about the new style of play under manager Ron Renneke. Did you see all 74 home runs, by the way?
Yeah, hold up. We got another 20.
That was like Woody Woodpecker over there. But this new style of play, the small ball, a lot of running, and that's all true. As Hart goes down the line, John Jay runs it down. But let there be no mistake, the manager still appreciates the home run, and he will certainly count on the long ball from a number of players in this lineup.
All those home runs for the Brewers, and Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder are accounting for 32 of them. Big time run production from number 3 and 4 in that batting order. And some pretty good run production from the guy at the plate right now. Craig Counsell, what a night last night.
Counsell with 3 hits last night. He was a home run away from the cycle. His first 3-hit game of the season. 3 hits and a walk. He was on base all 4 times. And he scored 3 runs last night. Counsell raised his batting average over 30 points with that performance last night. Off the end of the bat, John Jay is over. Rasmus as well. Jay makes a catch. And the side retired, but not before Prince Fielder goes boom. Home run number 18 of the year for Fielder. 1-0 Brewers. Yeah, 2 of the game's premier sluggers, and they match up in this series in Milwaukee. Albert Pujols and Prince Fielder. You see where they rank going back to the 07 season. And you're talking about 2 guys that will be very much appreciated wherever they end up next year. And both of these franchises are hoping they end up right where they are currently. Cardinals would love to re-sign Pujols, and the Brewers are hoping the same for Prince Fielder, whose stock is rising by the day. It was already pretty high when it started, but Fielder is putting together one of those special seasons right now. We'll see if he can maintain. Hit his 18th home run of the year a moment ago. Just one off the National League lead in homers and the National League RBI leader with 56 now.
And he's just had such a good approach all season long, and Prince Fielder right now has more walks than strikeouts. That's not bad for a power hitter.
Greinke strikes out Chris Carpenter for the third strikeout of Greinke's night, first out of the third inning. Well, it is an interesting debate now. And I realize we're only through the 10th of June with games completed, but who's more valuable right now, Prince Fielder or Albert Pujols? Because you have to figure age in that equation. Pujols certainly has a better track record. He's been around longer and has been the game's best hitter over the last decade. Fielder just now entering the prime of his career, you would figure, at 27 years of age.
Well, both of them have been big-time run producers, but the statistics that really jump off the page for you with Albert Pujols. His rookie year, he had more strikeouts than walks. He's never struck out more than 100 times, and every year since his rookie year, and that was 01, he's had more walks than strikeouts and has not struck out 100 times. That's amazing, with all the damage that guy's been able to do. And they're in the same ballpark today.
And in the same division, have been matching up head to head for a long time. There's a swing and a miss. Greinke dialed up the breaking ball this inning. Back-to-back strikeouts. Number 4 for Zach Greinke.
Well, he's got the curveball to go along with the slider, and there's his slider going straight down. It looks as though Greinke can manipulate that pitch with the grip and the release to make it do a couple of different things, and Terrio just waves at that one. Good location down in the zone.
Greinke has some experience against St. Louis. The Cardinals and the Royals are the rival interleague matchup every year. So as Greinke pitched for Kansas City, a number of appearances against the St. Louis Cardinals. Jay, a little bouncer over to Casey McGee. And that is going to be a 9-pitch inning for Zach Greinke. 3 up and 3 down with a couple of Ks. To WMLW for the live Brewers post-game show, the Sports Fanatics Final Out tonight after the game here on WMLW. Big crowd tonight, Rock. A sellout here at Miller Park. Great to see the folks come out, and you figure as the Brewers keep this success going, ticket sales are rising quickly, and hopefully we're set up for a great summer of baseball.
Yeah, get them while you can. They're going to get hot if they're not already. Big crowd expected tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. Zach Greinke bobblehead day.
Chris Carpenter back on the mound for the Cardinals, and Lucroy out to short. Terrio, a low throw dug out by Pujols for out number 1.
Hey, come out for Green Week at Miller Park, presented by Milwaukee's Energy Efficiency Program, Me Too. That's June 20 to the 26th. Join us for green-themed features all week long. Visit brewers.com/brewinggreen for details. Got it right this time.
Nice.
Me too.
Not me squared. Speaking of green, here is Greinke. See, I think you combine the two. The Zach Greinke bobblehead, the Green Week.
You're an amazing broadcaster.
Just thinking out loud. Just having a little marketing meeting right here.
You can't teach that stuff. You have it or you don't.
Greinke has a couple of hits this season. One of those hits, a home run. It came here at Miller Park. Pulled it down the left field line. Carpenter makes quick work of Zach Greinke. Just to validate, Greinke has home run power that came against Jason Marquis of the Washington Nationals. And he just fits right in with a starting rotation that can handle the bat. And it really showed up last night. Chris Narveson dropped down a beautiful bunt, a safety squeeze. And Ron Renicky referenced the fact that all of his starting pitchers can handle the bat. They're all good bunters. And that really created some excitement here at Miller Park last night.
That pretty athletic group, that starting rotation, not only can they pitch, but they can help themselves up at the plate. You don't expect many hits from your pitchers, but they've been doing a much better job this year dropping down their bunts.
Back to the top of the order. Ricky Weeks with 2 outs. Carpenter basically missed 2 seasons of his career, 07 and 08. 07 he ended up needing the Tommy John ligament replacement surgery. As Weeks goes off the end of the bat, that one's falling fast. John Jay will watch it bounce. Weeks falls down. He slipped on the bag. Had anybody been at first base, it would have been an out. But Weeks fortunate to get back. Fortunate that he's all right.
Well, Albert had to go out and see if he could catch the baseball. He went out there a few steps, realized he couldn't, got back, but a little bit too late. But Chris Carpenter, the pitcher, with nothing better to do, he was over there, the first guy to get there, but Ricky able to scamper back to first base. Actually, Albert didn't move. Albert's got to get back to the bag. I thought he went out there to try and catch it, but he just turned around and watched it out in right field.
Well, Weeks very fortunate he didn't roll an ankle there. Yeah, both Pujols and Carpenter standing and watching. And Ricky Weeks doesn't make that big of a turn if anybody's on the bag, most likely. So Nigel Morgan a chance to extend the inning. Morgan always a threat to bunt, and that is why Daniel Descalso is 3 steps in on the grass over at third base, which is the idea. Just the threat of the bunt can open up some holes for Morgan. Gets jammed, a little flare, back is Schumacher, and he's got it for the out. Carpenter is through the inning. He is through 3, and it's 1-0 Brewers. set. If you're just joining us, Prince Fielder providing the big punch so far tonight. A solo home run against Chris Carpenter in the second inning. Other than that, not much going on for the hitters. Zach Greinke and Chris Carpenter very good so far. Greinke has 4 strikeouts in 3 shutout innings. He's given up 2 hits. And he faces Albert Pujols to start the 4th. Pujols has 1 of those 2 hits. He doubled in the first inning. Slow curveball ripped into right, but right at Corey Hart, who is playing deep.
I mean, one thing's for certain when you're a hitter in this ball game, neither one of these pitchers walk anybody. Greinke with only 7 walks, and Carpenter only 21 walks. That's one of the reasons why you see the Cardinals attacking Greinke early.
Well, our Subway trivia tonight: which 2 future Cy Young Award winners were traded to Milwaukee from St. Louis in 1980? Good question. You think about Cy Young Award winners eventually pitching in a Brewers uniform. CC Sabathia comes to mind, 2008. He was traded from the Indians. And of course, Greinke this offseason coming over from the Kansas City Royals. They've got Cy Young Award winners, MVPs, MVP candidates, rookies of the year. Got a lot of hardware represented with these 2 teams in action tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's far and away the best offensive division in all of baseball, the National League Central. That's where most of the firepower is in the National League.
Lance Berkman, in his first year as a Cardinal, traded to the Yankees last year from Houston. I'm not sure anybody, including Berkman himself, expected this kind of success this season. He looked like his career was toward the end or nearing a conclusion last year. Well, he has come back with a fury this season, which has infuriated Houston Astros fans. As much as he's done for the Houston Astros, it's the damage that Berkman has done against Houston this year that's got him upset. Of his 15 home runs, 5 of those have come against his old team. There's a swing and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. Second time Greinke has struck out Berkman, and that gives him 5 for the game.
And it's not as though he was terrible in his last few years as a Houston Astro, but he is putting together a season that the Houston Astros would like to have seen when he was there.
The Astros are going to be sold this year. That'll be final. That announcement was made. So that's a complete turnover in that organization. The Cubs are having a tough time in the Central. The Astros and the Cubs down in the bottom of the division. While the Pirates have picked it up a little bit. They're looking for their first winning season in nearly 2 decades. Pittsburgh is 2 games under to start play today. But the class of the division, the Cardinals, the Brewers, and the Reds. And you figure it'll come down to 1 or 2 of those 3 come season's end.
When you look at the point of view from Lance Berkman, I mean, you go from a team, the Houston Astros, that didn't have much of a chance to compete last few years. You go into the St. Louis Cardinals, you have a different attitude. I mean, it's an attitude adjustment when you get over to the Cardinals. You got traded to the Yankees last year, but his years with the Houston Astros were very good. He had a number of 100 RBI seasons. He's always been a good hitter. Not sure what the big deal is over there in Houston.
It might have something to do with those 5 home runs against the Astros.
And it's not as though he just left as a free agent. He got traded away, right?
That's right, he did.
And you got to, it counts for something.
I agree. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rasmus. Little cue shot right off the end of the bat. Greinke with 5 strikeouts. Looking for number 6. The 2-2 to Rasmus. Out in front of one. He pulls it foul. Colby Rasmus. .261 average to start play today. Has 5 homers. 26 driven in.
That good eye at the plate. He's got an on-base percentage of about .360. Not bad for a young hitter.
Rasmus in his 3rd year in the big leagues. His rookie season in 09. Hit .251. He showed enough with 16 home runs. Tony La Russa basically made him his everyday center fielder. And he bounced back with a decent year last year. Got off to such a slow start, but he still finished with 23 home runs and 66 driven in. Got off to a slow start this year as well. In the air to right. Hart will watch it bounce. He was playing very deep. And for the 3rd inning in the first 4, Zach Greinke gives up a 2-out hit.
Yeah, both of these outfields play very deep for, against each other. The Brewers outfield very deep with the Cardinals, particularly 2 outs and nobody on. You want to limit, the hitter to a single. You don't want to give up a double. Everybody plays the Brewers deep in the outfield. It took a little bit off. Rasmus out in front, but able to dump it in front of Corey. And Wright, you can see how deep he is out there and not able to get to it.
And that'll bring up Yadier Molina with 2 away.
You take away the slugging percentage when you play deep in the outfield. You make a team get 3 singles as opposed to a couple of doubles.
Molina, an opposite field hitter, and he's having a terrific year at the plate this season, aside from his brilliance behind the plate. And he is a 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, likely headed for a 4th. Molina is hitting .314. He is inside the top 10 in the league in batting to start play today. You don't see that much from the catching position. Matter of fact, he's the only catcher inside the top 10.
He's probably the best catcher in baseball right now. I'm not sure if that's much of an arguable point. There's some good ones out there, but not too many like Molina. The way he handles himself behind home plate, blocks pitches, and nobody can throw with him.
That one is hit hard down the left field line. Braun cannot get it. It bounces off the wall. Now he's got to hurry. Rasmus around 3rd, and he will score. That's an RBI double for Yadier Molina. And the Cardinals have tied it here in the 4th inning. Back-to-back 2-out hits for the Redbirds.
Well, it took the Cardinals a while to get their first run here at Miller Park this year. A full game and almost 4 full innings tonight. A breaking ball that stayed up. A one-handed swing by Molina, but able to get it over Brawny's head. And Colby Rasmus has very good speed. No chance to get him at home plate.
All even at 1. The Cardinals with 4 hits now. Runner at 2nd for Skip Schumacher. Schumacher has 1 of the hits. He singled with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. A lot of pitches this inning for Zach Greinke. This is pitch number 23 of the inning. Schumacher takes a ball. In the air to left, playable for Braun as he eases back, and the side retired. But the Cardinals get a couple of 2-out hits. And they tie it up. All even at 1. We head to the bottom of the 4th. And the big boys are coming up. Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, Casey McGee. And against Chris Carpenter here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Game that is all tied at 1. Well, you talk about top of the line. We compared Fielder and Pujols, but how about Ryan Braun historically? You look at the numbers since Braun broke in the big leagues in 2007, and only Pujols has more runs, total bases, and extra base hits than Ryan Braun. This is all across the big leagues. And you see Braun with actually more hits than Albert Pujols during that stretch.
They had 2 very good hitters for Milwaukee, comparing very closely to probably the best hitter in baseball over the last 10 years. I guess you could be safe to say that, couldn't you?
No question. And it's going to be interesting to see as the years go by and the numbers continue to accumulate where Braun ends up compared to Albert Pujols. Last time up, Braun flew out to right. Carpenter has given up just 2 hits. One of those the home run by Fielder in the 2nd. And Braun takes a strike. Braun loves these kinds of matchups. He's always been public about that. He enjoys matching up against some of the game's best. And there is not a pitcher on the planet that Ryan Braun doesn't feel like he can hit. I think you got to have that mentality to be this good, to have this kind of success. And down he goes. Carpenter threw him a slider. Kind of stares him off, doesn't he? And a strikeout for Chris Carpenter, his 3rd.
Well, Carpenter started to attack him really in that at bat with a curveball. They missed with that one. Then he was able to come back and get one right down the middle of the plate. And here's the fastball that Braun probably thought was a bit low, pretty close. And then the cutter off the plate. That's some good pitching.
Now Fielder gets the curveball. Now Prince with his 18th home run of the season in the 2nd. He hit one off the scoreboard in deep left center. More center than left.
And it was a fastball. Let's see how many fastballs for strike Prince gets the rest of the night. Fastball right down the middle on a fastball that was supposed to be on the corner away.
Fielder was walked twice yesterday and hit by a pitch. He swings away and a flare into left. Berkman makes a catch. 2 outs in the inning.
Yep, a cut fastball that got in on the hands of Prince that time. There we go, just like he started out Ryan Braun, a curveball, and then the cutter missed down and in. And there was a cutter that was a mistake, but Prince let it get in on his hands and an easy out to left.
And that'll bring up Casey McGee now. Starts him with a breaking ball as well. So all 3 hitters in this 4th inning get the curveball from Carpenter. That one is hit pretty well to right. Back is John Jay at the wall. He reaches up and he's got it for the out. John Jay, an amazing catch. Some kind of play in right field. Wow. And poor Casey McGee, he cannot buy a break right now. What a play. John Jay robbing McGee of extra bases. And a 1-2-3 inning for Carpenter. As we head to the 5th inning, Carpenter against Greinke. And we've already seen some outstanding defense played in this game. John Jay makes a great catch to rob McGee of extra bases. And it ended the inning. Now Greinke back to work. Cardinals with back-to-back hits with 2 outs to tie it up. Yadier Molina, an RBI double. Daniel Descalso leads off for the Cardinals into left. Braun coming in fast, and he's got it for the out. Let's take you back to that John Jay catch.
These are the kind of things that happen to a guy that just has not been able to get many hits. And what a play by Jay as that ball was slicing as it got out there right at the edge of the warning track and crashes into the wall and is able to hold on. That's one of the better catches that you'll see tonight. Able to protect himself just enough, and boy, he went head first right into the bottom of that fence.
Some kind of play, huh? John Jay and Ryan Braun were teammates in college at Miami. And I remember when Jay was called up last year, Ryan Braun gave an excellent scouting report. He said he's not a guy that has a lot of tools. You know, he's not super fast. He doesn't hit with superpower, but he's a guy that knows how to play the game and
Smart.
thinks the game through and seems to be always in the right place.
And doesn't make mistakes. Those are the kind of guys that'll keep you in the lineup on a Tony La Russa ball club.
That's the second time Greinke has struck out Carpenter. And Zach Greinke now with 6 Ks, 2 outs in the inning. And back to the top of the order, Ryan Theriot. Well, this one is starting to build as a showdown between Greinke and Carpenter. Sometimes when you get a pitching matchup like this, they don't usually end up matching the hype. I think the hitters, you know, they feel bad because they're not getting any attention on a night when Greinke and Carpenter match up. But both look good tonight.
Hey, Greinke's been able to locate his fastball much better than he has in previous starts. The slider's always going to be there for him. That's his big strikeout pitch. He's been able to locate the fastball. He's gotten it up to as high as 95 miles an hour tonight.
Ahead of Ryan Theriot, a ball and 2 strikes. Theriot, the former Cub, from the Cubs to the Cardinals. Theriot and Casey McGee are very close. They came up together in the Cubs system. Always up for some good-natured ribbing. Did he go? And the tag is applied. Yes, he did, says Angel Campos. So Zach Greinke, 3 up and 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. He now has 7 Ks in the game.
Hey, on Friday, June 24th, as part of Green Week at Miller Park, the first 10,000 fans will receive a reusable shopping bag, compliments of Century and Dean's Milk and Ice Cream. Visit brewers.com/brewinggreen for tickets.
Sellout crowd tonight at Miller Park. All tied at 1. Zach Greinke, Chris Carpenter, as advertised so far. Corey Hart leads off. He'll be followed by Counsell, then Lucroy. That's a pretty good spot for Corey Hart, actually. That's his comfort zone out there beyond the right field wall. Corey has made a nice play defensively tonight in the first inning. That's how the game began. A sliding catch. Hart with 6 homers, 15 runs batted in. Missed the first month of the season, had an oblique injury during the spring. And starting to get his power stroke bat. Corey Hart homered last night. It was 4-0 at the time. Hart led off the 6th inning. Opposite field, solo home run for Corey Hart.
And like most of the home runs by Corey, high towering drive out of here off of Ryan Franklin, the former closer in the 6th inning. Unusual for Franklin.
And the Cardinals still searching for a closer. There have been a lot of rumors swirling about St. Louis concerning Heath Bell and the Padres. That has been ongoing for quite some time now. As Hart strikes out, Carpenter dials it up. 94-mile-an-hour fastball by him. 4th strikeout for Carpenter. Subway trivia tonight. The question was, which 2 future Cy Young Award winners were traded to Milwaukee from St. Louis in 1980?
That Raleigh and Vuk.
Raleigh Fingers beat Vukovich, and of course it was the Brewers matching up against the Cardinals in the Sud Series of 1982, the World Series, won by the Cardinals. But Vukovich and Raleigh Fingers, big part of that team that year. Many feel, and if you go back and look at the way it played out, because the Brewers in 82 were without Raleigh Fingers for most of the postseason, that cost him a little bit. Harvey's Wallbangers had plenty of offense, but that was the big piece missing from the puzzle in 1982. In a great series.
Yep, Ted Simmons was involved in all that. Cardinals to the Brewers. Raleigh Fingers never pitched for the Cardinals. Got traded from San Diego. 4 days later, the Cardinals traded him to the Brewers. And the rest, as they say, is history.
It's a good water cooler discussion. I don't remember Raleigh Fingers in a Cardinal uniform.
Because he never pitched for him.
That's a true statement. That's how you can win the bet. Yeah, that series in 82 went 7 games, went right down to the end.
If only Raleigh Fingers was healthy in closing games. Not that Pete Ladd didn't do a good job, but Pete Ladd he's no Raleigh.
Counsell with a count full, 3-2. Hit well center field. Back is Rasmus, and he'll run it down. Counsell starting to heat up a little bit at the plate. Nothing to show for it tonight, however. Say your favorite classic sitcoms are on MeTV. Shows like MASH, Cheers, The Dick Van Dyke Show. MeTV now playing in Milwaukee on digital 49.1. Two outs in the inning. And it'll be Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy just 24 years of age, his 2nd year in the big leagues. And he has held his own and then some at the plate. 6 home runs, 27 driven in. He actually has more home runs and RBIs than Yadier Molina coming into play tonight. And Lucroy missed the first 10 games of the season. Had a fractured pinky finger on his right hand in spring training. I think the way Lucroy handled his spring training with that broken finger earned him a lot of respect, not just with his new manager, but with his teammates and specifically his pitching staff.
Yep, learning his pitchers. He was down there catching bullpens, although he couldn't throw the baseball.
Gets jammed, a bouncer to Pujols, and a 1-2-3 inning for Carpenter. Carpenter has retired 7 straight. Greinke back on the mound. We go to the 6th. WMLW is presented by American TV, American Furniture, Electronics, and Appliances. Bring it home. And by the Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. The roof is closed tonight on a chilly Saturday night for baseball. Hard to believe it's June 11th. It's in the upper 50s outside. Nice and comfortable inside Miller Park, however. And a good ball game going tonight. All tied at 1. We head to the 6th inning. John Jay will lead off. Made a terrific catch, robbing McGee of an extra base hit in the 4th. Jay, Pujols, and Berkman. And a big inning for Zach Greinke, going through the heart of this Cardinal batting order. John Jay is 0 for 2, a couple of groundouts tonight. That one's hit pretty well. Left center, Braun and Morgan over, and it's Braun who wants it. One gone in the 6th for Zach Greinke.
Now Zach Greinke continues to throw the baseball very well. He probably has his best fastball so far tonight that he's had most of this season. He's had good command of it. The slider's been a good one. As usual, no walks, 7 strikeouts for Greinke. He's given up a couple of 2-out, nobody on base hits, actually 3 of them, and then a double by Yadier Molina to score the only run for St. Louis. 81 pitches as we work here in the 6th inning.
And his 3rd confrontation with Albert Pujols, who doubled against Greinke back in the 1st inning. There has been a lot of talk about Pujols at a slow start, and the numbers bear that out. But that being said, Pujols with 14 home runs and 40 runs driven in to start play today, and he had a pair of game-winning home runs, walk-off home runs last week against the Cubs in back-to-back games.
Well, you know, he's going to get his. He'll be over 300 when it's all said and done. He'll be around 100 RBIs. As usual for Albert. Albert Pujols has driven in at least 100 runs in every single year he's been in the major leagues.
A 13th round draft pick in '99. He was in the big leagues in '01. Rookie of the year in '01. Has 3 MVP trophies. Into center. Nigel Morgan on the run. He'll run it down. Boy, he got a great jump on that baseball. And the 2nd out of the inning. Well, he has been the best in the major leagues since he arrived in the big leagues in 2001 as a 21-year-old middle infielder. Played a little 3rd and 2nd. He's actually played some 3rd this year. But it is his bat that has made him famous.
His worst season as far as home runs and RBIs came in '07. 32 home runs, 103 RBIs. His worst season.
Has a batting title, an RBI title, and a hitting title. As Berkman sends one way back and gone. Lance Berkman launches one out of here. And the Cardinals have the lead 2-1 St. Louis. That took no time. An opposite field bullet from Lance Berkman.
Well, after punching out his first 2 times up, he wasn't about to let a fastball go by, and so that ball had some big time carry to it. Off the bat, it looked like it was going to be an out. Just kept going.
And with that home run hit by Berkman, another $13,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. You can go to pcf.org for more information or to make a donation. So the Cardinals have the lead now in the 6th inning. And it's Berkman who strikes, and again a 2-out hit for St. Louis. All of their hits have come with 2 outs.
2 outs and nobody on to get the rallies going. Well, first pitch to Lance Berkman. Up, out, over the plate, and Berkman able to go right with it. Some good backspin to it. It looked like off the bat, Brawny had a chance for it, but just kept going. Just kept carrying at it here to left.
Rasmus had a good cut. Home runs tonight from Fielder and Berkman. The other Cardinal RBI belongs to Yadier Molina. Hard to figure. Zach Greinke giving up 5 hits, all coming with 2 away and nobody on. So he's giving up hits pitching from the windup. And a swing and a miss. Greinke strikes out Rasmus. Strikeout number 8. But now the Brewers are behind Chris Carpenter and the Cardinals thanks to Lance Berkman. Presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers.
Who do you think won this one on Cerveceros Day?
Polish?
The Clements famous racing sausages, the chorizo, in a route.
Oh, I see where you're going with that. Celebrating Hispanic heritage, Cerveceros Day, and chorizo comes in hot. Well, the Brewers are down 2-1 now after the Berkman home run. Zach Greinke leads off, and Carpenter starts it with a breaking ball. Greinke has given up 2 runs on 5 hits so far. RBIs from Yadier Molina and Lance Berkman. Meanwhile, Carpenter has given up just 2 hits. The Fielder home run representing the lone tally so far tonight. Carpenter coming off a 9-inning performance against the Cubs his last time out. As Greinke lines one to left. A base hit for the Brewer pitcher.
They have a 1-1 fastball. Carpenter's been throwing a lot of curveballs this time through the batting order. Second time through, leading a lot of hitters off with the curveball. Made a mistake with a fastball that time, and Greinke with a very aggressive swing hammers it into left.
Well, he looks like a hitter. That's his 3rd hit of the season. He is now 3 for 15 at the plate. Prince Fielder was telling a story that when Greinke and Fielder were teenagers in Orlando and playing in these showcase games, Greinke was thought of, and that includes Prince Fielder in that group, he was thought of as the best hitter in that area and was a position player and a pitcher back then. So he's aboard for Ricky Weeks, back to the top of the order. 3rd time through the order against the Brewers. Weeks with a single against Carpenter in the 3rd. He's 1 out of 2 tonight. A home run and 2 singles against Carpenter tonight. This is only the second batter of the game that Carpenter has actually had to pitch from the stretch. Weeks singled with 2 outs in the third. It was a flare into right field, and then he retired the next hitter, Nigel Morgan. And it looks like Carpenter content to stay away from Ricky Weeks. He has pitched him on the outside corner with all he's got.
Well, he will come in from time to time, and most of the time it's for effect, but he wants to get you out with that cut fastball, pitches away, and that curveball down. He will straighten you up once in a while if he thinks you're leaning out over the plate for something on the outside corner.
And there's one inside that missed. So 3-1, a hitter's count for Weeks.
Yep, 2-seamer that Carpenter was hoping that would be a little bit further down in the zone and Ricky swing over the top of, but he left it up. You don't get much sink on pitches up in the zone.
See what he gives him here. The 3-1. Weeks swings and lifts one to right. That one is way back there. John Jay on the run, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Ricky Weeks, and just like that, the Brew Crew back on top. And with that home run by Weeks, another $13,000 has been raised to support prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can call 800-798-CURE or go to PCF.org.
Boy, how about Ricky Weeks? A 3-1 fastball up in the strike zone, and he hit it pretty well down the line. Just a question if it's going to be enough. And Zach Greinke leads it off, and then Ricky Weeks obliges with a homer. And Greinke back on top.
Got the count in his favor, and Weeks delivers as Nigel Morgan pops it into foul territory. Good effort over there by Descalso and Molina.
That was a cut fastball that stayed up in the strike zone. Ricky Weeks wasn't sure if he got all of it, but he got enough of it. You can see he hit it back in the zone just a little bit. That's why Ricky not sure if he got enough of it, but he got it on the sweet spot. And that's what allowed him to get the carry on it.
Home run number 12 of the year for Ricky Weeks. Well, what a threat at the top of the order. 12 homers, now 29 runs batted in for the Brewers leadoff hitter. One ball, one strike on Nigel Morgan. Trying to get it started all over again. Still nobody out. Ryan Braun on deck with Fielder down in the hold.
High and towering and right down that right field line. A little bit more in that gap, and that might have been an out. But Ricky able to keep it fair and gives the Brewers a 1-run lead.
Now Carpenter falling behind Nigel Morgan 3-1. The Brewers have a lot more flow in their offense when Morgan is in the starting lineup. Renicky likes him in the 2-hole behind Weeks because he is a good bunter. If Weeks does reach, balances out that lineup as well. You get another left-handed bat. For so many years, the Brewers were at their best against left-handed starters. I think it's just the opposite this year.
And Morgan very good at working the count.
And a lazy pop-up. Back is Schumacher. Jay coming in. Schumacher makes a catch. There is out number 1.
And that's what you want out of your number 2 hitter, a guy who's going to look at some pitches, not afraid to hit with 2 strikes, allow your leadoff hitter to steal a base, and get that pitch count up a little bit. Very important for not only the 2 hitter, but the 1 and 2 hitters to get on base in front of Braun and Fielder. We were talking about that all year, but this looks like a pretty good combination at the top.
Well, the big concern with that is Corey Hart, who had so much success hitting in the 2-hole last year. And you run the risk of changing that up when you drop Hart out of the 2-hole for Nyjer Morgan. But Hart, he's not your typical number 2 hitter anyway. Despite the success last year, Hart is probably best down in the middle of the order behind Braun and Fielder in a more of a run producer's role. As Braun, caught by Pujols. Goes up the ladder to bring it down. Nice play by the Gold Glover.
Well, he timed his leap perfectly. If he jumps a little bit too soon or a little bit too late, he's not going to be able to make the catch. Albert able to time his jump perfectly and get it in the webbing of that first baseman's glove, taking away a base hit from Ryan Braun.
So the second out. Good stab from Pujols, and now Prince Fielder. A home run and a fly out tonight, 1 for 2. I was a little concerned when we hit the air tonight, partner. Tonight is the home run challenge night, and kind of a bad draw with Carpenter and Zach Greinke as far as the home run challenge goes. But 3 home runs in this game already. Fielder, Berkman, and Weeks.
You never know.
That's the way the game goes.
You shouldn't be bummed to start the day.
Just concerned. I wasn't optimistic for a bunch of home runs tonight. Well, we've already raised $39,000 for prostate cancer research. And Fielder draws the walk on 4 pitches. So a 2-out walk. And this is where Casey McGee can really shine in this series. Tony La Russa historically has worked around Prince Fielder, especially as you get past the 4th and 5th inning.
Yeah, we were talking about how good Prince has been with his strikeouts this year. That's his 36th walk to go with only 31 strikeouts. And I was trying to think in my mind the last time that Prince struck out, it was actually the last game against the Marlins in Florida. Prince has not struck out on his homestand. And how many home runs has he hit? A lot. It's pretty good for a power hitter.
Now Fielder had that great stretch where he hit 6 homers in 6 games. He's now at 7 homers over the last 8 games. And the walks, Fielder is now 4th in the league in walks.
Yeah, 3 home runs on the homestand, no strikeouts for Prince Fielder, number 4 hitter. What an improvement in that regard for Prince.
I'm anxious to check his on-base percentage after this series. He's already walked 3 times in this series, and he's been hit by a pitch. And it puts that much more importance on the hitter behind him. Casey McGee is going through probably his worst stretch as a professional hitter. And that long offer that ended at 27 consecutive at-bats without a hit. McGee is 0 for 2 tonight. 2 balls and a strike. And a breaking ball missed. 3-1 now on McGee. McGee did have a hit last night. He singled. He was 1 for 4. He was robbed of extra bases on a great over-the-shoulder diving catch by John Jay in right field. That was in the 4th inning. And he draws a walk. Another breaking ball from Carpenter. And here comes Dave Duncan with the Brewers putting up a threat with 2 away in the 6th inning. 1st and 2nd now. Now, are you a sports fanatic? Then CBS 58 has everything you are looking for, including all the latest on your Milwaukee Brewers. The Sports Fanatic every Sunday morning at 10:30 on CBS 58. Carpenter's pitch count now at 86. As the Brewers have put 4 men on in this inning. Started with a single by Greinke. Ricky Weeks a 2-run homer. And now back-to-back walks from Fielder and McGee. And a sellout crowd ready to roar if Corey Hart can do some damage. Hart is 0 for 2. Carpenter struck him out in the 5th inning. Got him on a fastball. That same pitch.
Been a pretty good pitch for Carpenter all night. It looked like it was a cutter that Ricky Weeks hit out of the ballpark in this inning that stayed up in the zone. Well located that time to Corey.
Curveball in the air, right center field. Long run for Jay. That is going to get down and go to the wall. Fielder scores. Here comes McGee. The throw to the plate late. Casey scores. And a double and 2 RBIs for Corey Hart.
Well, another pitch left up in the zone by Chris Carpenter. We haven't seen too much of this out of Carpenter throughout his career. Leaving a lot of pitches up in the zone. And Corey Hart doing exactly what he had to do, and that's take it to the opposite field. That was a curveball. A curveball that just left right down the middle of the plate. And Corey able to pull the hands in and shoot that ball in the right center. And Casey McGee on his horse with 2 outs on contact, able to score. How about that 2-out lightning for Milwaukee?
5-2 Brewers. 4 runs in here in the 6th inning. Perhaps some premature fireworks there. I'm thinking maybe they thought it was gone. I don't remember fireworks on a double.
No,
but it was fun.
Not even a huge double.
Fireworks going off, smoke everywhere, guys rounding the bases. It's very exciting. I thought I missed it.
No, you were on it.
Well, they might have to think about cracking the roof like they did last night. That's what a good offense will do. The literal and figurative fireworks from the Brewers. Counsell takes one inside, almost hit by a pitch. Chris Carpenter now over the 30 pitch number in the 6th inning. That's stepping into the danger zone, especially for a pitcher who has had 2 surgeries on his throwing arm.
And in the 6th inning.
1-2 to Counsell. In the air, right center, and it's John Jay. He's got it, inning over, but what an inning it was. The Brewers with 4 runs. A home run by Ricky Weeks to give the Brewers the lead. Then Corey Hart bangs a pair in. 5-2 Milwaukee. We head to the 7th. Greinke back on the mound.
And it's been a good ball game here at Miller Park. Carpenter and Greinke. Prince Fielder got things going early for the Brewers in the second. A home run. Cardinals coming right back. It's been base hits with 2 outs and nobody on. They took a 2-1 lead until the Brewers' 6th inning. A huge 4-run, 3-hit ball game. A 3-hit inning for the Brewers. Ricky Weeks a home run. And Corey Hart a big double after a couple of walks and 2 outs. The Brewers currently holding a 5-2 lead.
And now Greinke working with a 3-run lead as we go to the 7th inning. Facing Yadier Molina to start the 7th. Molina drove in the first Cardinal run with an RBI double in the 4th. One for 2 tonight. Greinke had 93 pitches. And hoping to get through this 7th inning. If he has a quick inning, there's a chance he could come back out for the 8th.
Last time out, Zach Greinke with 111 pitches. So you're right. If he's able to get in and out of here quickly, he's got the bottom half of the Cardinals' order. Pretty good chance he can go out for the 8th.
Greinke has not gone more than 7 this year. He's only done that twice. Went 7 against the Nationals in a victory. That was the game he homered. Had a 10 strikeout game. And he went 7 his last time out against the Marlins. Struck out 6. He has 8 strikeouts through the first 6 innings tonight. Big chopper over to McGee. Takes the big hop. Molina retired. 1 gone in the 7th. Well, the series wraps up tomorrow. The Brewers are hoping to put themselves in a position to sweep the series with a win tonight. Miller Lite, what's on tap? 12:30 is airtime. Fox Sports Wisconsin. And then we head to Wrigley Field in Chicago. Brewers and the Cubs first trip to Wrigley. 3 night games to start that series. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then a day game on Thursday. And a 6-game road trip, or rather a 7-game road trip through Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. The Brewers will play their first interleague game of the season against Boston. Schumacher sends one over the head of Nyjer Morgan, and it bounces up and out of here. That'll be a ground rule double for Skip Schumacher.
Schumacher giving that one a pretty good ride into center field. Nyjer playing relatively shallow out there. Looked like a breaking ball, maybe a changeup. Yep, it was a changeup, and Schumacher able to wait back and hammer that one hop off of the batter's eye out there. He put a charge into that baseball on a changeup. Piece of hitting.
Probably caught a break. The Brewers did. If that ball stays in, Schumacher, who is very fast, likely to end up at third base. And there's a slicer down the left field line. Braun cannot get there. That's a fair ball. It's going to go in the corner. Cardinals get a run. And Descalso into second with an RBI double. It's 5-3 Brewers. And a quick strike for the Cardinals for the bottom of their batting order.
Yeah, 3 of the 7 Cardinal hits coming from the 7-hitter down. And Descalso with his first base hit, an RBI double, slicing it down the line. And once again, the Cardinals attacking Greinke early. First pitch, outer half. And Ryan Braun chasing it down in the corner.
Schumacher scores the 3rd run for the Cardinals. Pinch hitter is Mark Hamilton. Carpenter is out as the Cardinals bring the tying run to the plate. So Chris Carpenter goes 6 innings and gives up 5 runs to the Brewers tonight. Greinke doing all he can to get through 7. Hamilton pinch hit last night. He came in late for Albert Pujols, and he flew out to left. His only appearance of the series. 3 for 21 at the plate this season as a Cardinal. Descalso at second. The 2-1 from Greinke in there for a strike. 2-2. Tony La Russa and his hitting coach Mark McGuire. Cardinals have 7 hits. They've actually out-hit the Brewers tonight. And did he go? Yes, he did. Lucroy has to secure it at first. And there is out number 2 on strikeout number 9 for Zach Greinke.
Yeah, good slider down in the dirt, and once again Jonathan able to keep it in front of him. Keep Descalso out there at second base and make the throw to get Hamilton. 2-2 pitch. Good slider in the dirt, and textbook for Jonathan Lucroy to block it. Well done, Jonathan. And a good pitch by Greinke. That's where you want it. 2 strikes.
So 2 gone, back to the top of the order. And the 4th time against Ryan Theriot. Greinke got him on a liner in the first inning. A nice sliding catch from Corey Hart. That's how the game started tonight. And then Greinke with strikeouts on Theriot his last 2 times up.
And both on breaking balls, and that's what Greinke started him out with. Another one.
Quickly 0-2 on Theriot, and he is not pleased.
Now he can bounce a couple. He bounced the breaking ball his last time up and got him on strikes.
See Mark McGuire barking in the background. 0-2, runner at second. And a little bouncer over to short. Counsell got to hurry. The throw just in time. Inning over. Cardinals get a run, but Greinke is through 7 with the lead. 5-3 Brewers. Stretch time at Miller Park. Zach Greinke, and we're wondering if Greinke will return for the 8th. The Cardinals are going to have Jay, Pujols, and Berkman coming up. New pitcher for the Cardinals is Mitchell Boggs.
Yeah, recently recalled from the minor leagues. He had some injury issues. He was on a disabled list. Now, Boggs has been a good addition to that Cardinals bullpen over the last couple of years. Now, Zach Greinke is due up second in this inning. I got to believe that they're going to go to the bench. Maybe get some more runs. Get in that Brewers bullpen. Bullpen's been pretty good as well.
Cameron Lowe has had his troubles just lately. He has been terrific throughout the course of the season. That's going to be a big decision for Ron Renicky, and he has already sent Josh Wilson out to the on deck circle. Now the Cardinals have 2, 3, and 4 coming up, and their best 2 hitters in Pujols and Berkman. Greinke with 107 pitches. As Lucroy bounces one out to Terrio, 1 away. And here comes Josh Wilson. So Greinke is out. 7 innings for Zach Greinke tonight. Gives up 7 hits and 3 runs, and he is in line for his 6th win as a Brewer.
Hits well again tonight. And you got to keep in mind this Cardinals offense, as far as batting average and runs scored, the best in the National League, and the Brewers starting rotation has limited them to 3 runs in 2 games.
Josh Wilson with 2 hits as a pinch hitter this year. A home run and a double and an RBI. 2 for 4 at the plate. Terrific job from Zach Greinke tonight. His offense gave him a boost with 4 runs in the 6th inning against Chris Carpenter. And Wilson strikes out on 3 pitches.
Man, Boggs a hard thrower. He throws in the mid to upper 90s. With that fastball, is take a breaking ball. That ball's got a pretty good sink on it right there. And down and in, and Wilson over the top of it.
Mitchell Boggs was recalled by the Cardinals Friday. Might not be with the team long. The Cardinals had him stretched out as a starting pitcher in the minor leagues, and there's been some talk that Boggs could provide some depth in the starting rotation.
He made 4 starts down in AAA, 0-2 with a 245 earned run average. All the problems the Cardinals have had in the back end of their rotation.
Now Boggs actually last pitched on the 7th of June. That was on Tuesday, and he went 5 innings in a start. AAA Memphis. St. Louis had Lance Lynn make a couple of starts. His last being a start against the Houston Astros. Lynn has been optioned out. The Brewers would love to tack a few on here, but 2 outs in the inning. Crew did some damage with 2 outs last inning. As Weeks takes one inside. 3 balls and a strike on Ricky Weeks. A big home run for Weeks last inning. Hit a 2-run homer that gave the Brewers the lead. Took it from a 2-1 deficit to a 3-2 lead. Corey Hart would then drive in 2 more with a 2-out double. And that's where we sit, 5-3. Ricky draws the walk. On base for the 3rd time. He singled in the 3rd and then came up in the 6th. He got the count in his favor against Carpenter and whistled one over the wall in right field, just inside the foul pole.
Hit it in the perfect spot. Didn't get all of it, but right down that right field line, able to sneak it over the wall. A big home run for Ricky Weeks, giving the Brewers a lead. There's been a lot of damage in this game, done with 2 outs.
Well, the Cardinals, 2 of their 3 runs have come with 2-out hits. Brewers have 2 runs in with 2 outs as well, and Ricky Weeks on base for the 6th time in this series. And he'll give Nigel Morgan a chance. Might see some action here with Weeks at first and Morgan at the plate. Morgan fouls it off. Cardinals have done a good job staying in on the hands of Nyjer Morgan tonight.
In on the hands and up in the zone. You get him in on the hands and down, and that's a hot zone for Nyjer. A lot of left-handers have a tough time handling up and in, not so much down and in.
A slap hitter if there ever was one. He has very little movement in his lower body. Just stands right there and tries to put the barrel on the ball. Just like that. Yeah, not much to it.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have done a nice job hitting their spots with Morgan at the plate. You get that pitch out over the plate up in the zone. That's the pitch that Nyjer likes to slap into left field. And if he gets a mistake and slaps it down the left field line, that's going to be a run.
Weeks stays put at first. And Boggs will check on him. Got one of the best throwing catchers in the big leagues in Yadier Molina. He's like a good cornerback in the NFL. He shuts down that part of the game. Yeah, Morgan chases one. The inning is over. Nyjer Morgan strikes out, and we head to the 8th. And a big inning coming up. Jay, Pujols, and Berkman coming to bat. This 3-game series, an 8-0 Milwaukee win last night, and they're trying to win on Cerveceros night tonight. The Feldco call to the bullpen. Cameron Lowe is on the pitch, and he'll have the 8th inning, and he'll have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, he got roughed up his last time out. But Cameron Lowe throughout the season has been very good. I mean, you take away some of his really meltdown outings. One of them came in Washington. And the other one here against the Mets at Miller Park. The majority of his runs have come in maybe just 2 or 3 outings.
Lowe gave up 5 runs in 2/3 of an inning against the New York Mets. That was a game the Brewers were able to come back and win. An amazing comeback. The Nyjer Morgan walk-off double. Ron Rinicky says he has the utmost confidence in Cameron Lowe. And he will continue as his primary setup man in the 8th, setting it up for John Axford.
And it's been that pitch right there that's been so good. When Lowe struggles, that pitch is up around the belt. And that's what happened in his last outing. Left some pitches up in his zone, gave up a 3-run home run to Ronnie Paulino, the Mets catcher. Not going to get hurt too bad when you throw that sinker down around the shins.
Zach Greinke goes 7 tonight. 3 earned runs, no walks, 9 strikeouts for Greinke. And he is in line for his 6th win of the season. The Brewers got on the board first on a Fielder homer. Cardinals with a run in the 4th and a Berkman home run in the 6th. They took the lead. Milwaukee with 4 in the bottom of the 6th. And a swing and a miss. Lowe strikes out John Jay for the first out of the 8th inning.
Yeah, but it was important to get that leadoff hitter, and that was a heck of a sinker by Lowe that time. Started on the corner, ended up about 3 or 4 inches off the outside, and Jay tried to pull it. Good pitch.
Here is Albert Pujols. Strike 1. Pujols 1 out of 3 tonight with a double. He had him out in front, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. One thing about Cameron Lowe, just to Rock's point, if you look at the statistics for the year, he's had those blow-up games. The 5-run game last time out, gave up 4 runs in a third of an inning against the Padres, but he has had 25 scoreless outings this season. And whether you're pitching in the 8th or the 9th, that is a very impressive number. And I think that's what Ron Renicky goes to when he looks at his season of work, his body of work this year. 25 scoreless innings. And pitching in some clutch innings late as well as Pujols lifts one to center field, right to Nigel Morgan. 2 up, 2 down for Lowe in the 8th.
Good job by Cameron Lowe to get ahead with a sinker. A good sinker down the middle of the plate, but it was around the knees to start him out. Then he tried to get him to bite on his slider, and Pujols not willing to do that. And then a couple of sinkers, and finally this pitch right here on a 1-2 count. Or actually a 2-2 pitch. And it gets him on a sinker up, and Pujols down on the handle just enough to keep it in the ballpark.
And now Lance Berkman. Berkman homered his last time up, hit an opposite field bullet off the Friday's front row grill, banged it off the wall in left field. And his 16th home run of the season. At the time, it gave the Cardinals a 2-1 lead. How about that? Squares to bunt with the shift on.
He's even smiling at that. I don't know if Tony La Russa is thinking about his cleanup hitter trying to drop down the bunt, but in this situation, 2 outs, nobody on. You'd like to get yourself into scoring position by hitting a double, but Berkman thinking, I'll get the first and bring the tying run to the plate.
0-2 the count on Berkman. And a tapper, that's a fair ball, inning over. Lucroy got it right in front of the plate. And Cameron Lowe, a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th. He goes through Jay, Pujols, and Berkman. Still 5-3, and the Cardinals want an explanation. Nice play by Lucroy. Jumped on it, got it out in front of home plate for the out. we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Brought to you by Usingers. Prince Fielder put the Brewers on the board in the 2nd inning. Yadier Molina tied it with an RBI double in the 4th. All even at 1 after 4 innings. Lance Berkman put the Cardinals ahead in a 6th inning with a home run. Then Weeks comes back in the bottom of the 6th, a 2-run shot to give the Brewers the lead. And for good measure, Corey Hart, a 2-run double with 2 outs. Brewers led 5-2 at that point. The Cardinals added a run in the 7th. It is now 5-3. And to the bottom of the 8th we go. Mitchell Boggs still out there. Ryan Braun will lead off, followed by Fielder, then McGee. Terrific job, Cameron Lowe. 1, 2, 3, retiring the Cardinals in order in the 8th. And getting through the heart of the Cardinal order. It's a good play by Lucroy to win the inning. If that ball bounces one more time with the kind of spin it had on it, it's probably going to end up in foul territory. Braun back up the middle, a base hit. His first hit of the night. And a base runner for Fielder here in the 8th.
Of the many things that makes Ryan Braun a very good hitter is his ability to cover the outside corner. Boggs throws him a slide. It was probably off the plate. And check out Ryan with that long bat. Able to go get it. Actually, a strike might have been down, but the slider away from Brawny. He's able to get the bat on it and get enough of it to get it into center field. That's a good piece of hitting by Brawny. Not trying to pull it.
Now Fielder. Prince has scored twice tonight. He homered in the 2nd. Walked and scored on Hart's double in the 6th. Fielder on base twice tonight. He has been on base 5 times in this series and has been on base 12 times in his last 19 at bats. His on base percentage currently is .412.
Yep, hits, walks, hit batters. 12 times on base in this homestand alone in 19 plate appearances. That's pretty good work. 3 home runs in that group.
They don't give out MVP awards in June, but if they did, Fielder would have one. Brent's 1 off the National League lead in home runs. And now 56 RBIs atop the league. He won the RBI title 2 years ago. He and Ryan Howard shared the RBI title. 141 driven in for Fielder that year. And through 65 games this season, Fielder with 56 runs batted in. Brewers fans will never forget Tony La Russa walking Prince Fielder in the final at bat of the season, sitting on 141 RBIs, tied with Ryan Howard. He intentionally walked him.
That's what makes Tony so lovable. Trying to win every game. If you try to win games, you don't allow Prince Fielder to beat you late.
Didn't he end up hitting a home run to win that game, Fielder?
I believe he did against a lefty, right?
That's right, in the 10th inning.
Extra innings.
Fielder has been close to an MVP award. He finished 3rd in the voting in 07. That was the year he hit 50 home runs. Oh, stabbed by Pujols, and that's a double play. That had a chance to be a run-scoring double for Fielder. Albert Pujols, for the 2nd time tonight, robs a base hit.
Well, and the Cardinals fortunate that Albert does not move off the bag a whole lot when he's holding the runner. There he is, right on the bag. I mean, if he's hopping off like most first basemen would to cover a little bit more ground, that's going to be a double down the line. But Albert just stays put about 2 feet off the bag.
Now Pujols has robbed Braun of a base hit. He stabbed a line drive, and now Fielder. If that gets down into the corner, and it looked like it had that kind of trajectory, Braun with his great speed probably would have scored from first base. Instead, it's a double play. 2 outs in the inning. Here is Casey McGee. McGee drew a big 2-out walk in the 6th. That set up Corey Hart's 2 RBI double against Carpenter. John Axford getting ready for a save opportunity, perhaps. That's exactly what Ron Renicky is talking about. You can read his lips. He's standing right on first base.
That's exactly right.
Just what you said, partner.
Yeah.
You and the manager kind of think alike. I noticed that.
Yeah, that's good, I think, right? Good for me. I don't know about him.
That play's still burning the Brewers manager.
Yeah.
Who stands right on first base? Because you're right. Just about every other first baseman, comes off the bag when the pitch is made.
A couple of crow hops to cover a little bit more ground, maybe cover the hole a little bit, but Albert does not. And because of that, he was able to grab it.
Perhaps by design to cover that line. Full count to McGee. And a broken bat, and that's going to fall for a hit. And if anyone was due for a hit like that, it's Casey McGee, who is 1 for 3 tonight.
They've got robbed of extra bases in the 4th inning. A tremendous catch and right. So what do? You get jammed, a little flare into center field for his first hit of the night. Casey pulling the hands in. It was in off the plate, but muscles it into center field.
And don't even bother bringing that up to Casey McGee, that it all evens out. You might get punched. To go 0 for 27, you're going to have some line drives caught. And that's what has happened to McGee. And he's certainly been a struggling hitter, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But he's had his share of hits, or hard hit balls.
Yeah, a hitter like Casey, I mean, the last couple of years that he's had for the Brewers, I mean, it's hard to conceive that he had that kind of a stretch. And obviously some hard hit balls right at players, but he was scuffling. He was striking out quite a bit out in front, caught in between. You don't figure it lasts all season.
You got to like his last 2 at-bats of the night. The walk to set up the inning, and then the base hit. Maybe that'll get him going. The Brewers need him. Again, a base runner for Corey Hart with 2 away. Hart with a 2 RBI double into right center field in the 6th inning. And that hit is how the Brewers are in the lead right now. Ron Renicky and Jerry Narron looking ahead. The Cardinals will have Rasmus, Molina, and Schumacher due up in the top of the 9th inning. Hart strikes out, and the stage is set. The Axeman cometh. We head to the 9th inning from Miller Park. Brewers 5, Cardinals 3. A save situation ahead. Great ball game going here at Miller Park. Second game of the series between division rivals, the first place Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. A game and a half back in second place. John Axford on the mound to pitch. He has 16 saves in 18 chances this year. Axford will face Rasmus, Molina, and Schumacher in the ninth inning with a 2-run lead.
He's converted his last 13 save opportunities. His last blown save coming in Philadelphia in mid-April. So the Axeman has been very good. He has 22 appearances, 4 runs in 22 innings.
Axford's first career save came against St. Louis, the final day of the regular season, October 4th of 2009. Axford with 41 career saves. He had a 24 save season last year. Took over that closer's role after Trevor Hoffman struggled early, and already 16 saves for Axford. No balls and 2 strikes on Colby Rasmus. Lucroy setting up inside, and a curveball missed. Cameron Lowe, a scoreless 8th. He retires the side in order. Jay Pujols and Berkman go down. And a swing and a miss. Axford with that hammer strikes out Colby Rasmus for the first out of the ninth inning.
Yep, the old equalizer for John Axford. The fastball 96, 97 miles an hour, and then he'll drop that baby on you. Take a little bit off, throw it over the plate, and when he throws that for strikes, see you later. You don't have much of a chance. Way out in front.
1 gone, and here is Yadier Molina. Molina tonight with an RBI double, 1 out of 3. One and one. Axford made 1 appearance against the Cardinals in their last series in early May in St. Louis. It's a non-save situation, but he pitched in the ninth inning of a 4-0 game. Had a scoreless inning against the Cardinals with a couple of strikeouts. And now he has Molina down a ball and 2 strikes.
You got to be careful with breaking balls to Yadier Molina. He goes to right field so well. If you throw it, you got to throw it down in the dirt. Good off-speed hitter.
Ready for a 1-2. Axford deals, and he got him. Axford strikes out Molina. Back-to-back Ks for John Axford.
Yeah, both coming on the curveball, but all set up with fastballs, big velocity on the corners. That one perfect, right on the outside corner.
Cardinals down to their last out. Strike 1 to Skip Schumacher. Axford picked up the win against the Mets in that big comeback on Wednesday. This is his first save opportunity as a father. Welcomed a son into the world earlier this week. Back on Monday. It's been a whirlwind week for Axford. The sellout crowd hoping for a 3-strikeout save for John Axford here in the ninth. Ground ball toward the middle. Craig Counsell fires in time. And a 3-3 down inning. John Axford picks up the save, and the Brewers beat the Cardinals 5-3. They have won the first 2 games in the series, and with 3 home runs hit today, a total of $39,000 has been raised in our game for prostate cancer research. To make a donation, you can call 800-798-CURE or go online, pcf.org. Great ball game tonight, partner.
And I'll tell you, the pitching outstanding. Keep in mind, this Cardinals offense, the best in the National League as far as runs scored. And they've limited them to 3 runs in the first 2 innings, or the first 2 games. Outstanding game today.
Zach Greinke picks up the win. He's now 6-1. And John Ashford with the save. That's going to do it for us tonight. Our final score, 5-3. Milwaukee. Brewers baseball returns tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. It'll be game 3 of the series. Coverage begins at 12:30. The Brewers are back on WMLW July 15th as they take on the Rockies. That game starts at 6 o'clock. Coming up next, it's the Sports Fanatics Final Out postgame show. For Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.